into draft. So this is exciting. So let's do it.
Kha'Zix banned instantly from the side of Legendary Wolves. They do not want to see Acid play again. And honestly, if you have to throw 3 brands at Acid, let's just do it. Let's just see what is he just a Kha'Zix Lilia 1-2 trick. I want to see. Legendary Wolves, just throw it out there. Let's get this man out of here. I don't want to see this guy. No more MVP performances from Acid, please.
Oh boy. Got the Seraphine again. Good ban. Very flexible, very powerful. I hate Seraphine. Seraphine is cringe. Period.
Seraphine is going to be banned again. Just a powerful pick. Can be flexed so many positions. So Meme City Esports just didn't even want to deal with it. Look at that. My boys, Legendary Wolves, listening to my advice. Acid on any other character besides Lilia Kha'Zix. Let's see what this guy can play. Again, he is... If Acid plays Mr. Olaf here, even though I think it's been nerfed, it's not as good as it used to be in the first couple weeks. We know that Acid can play. He has a champion Ocean. He can play whatever. So the bans are, I think they're warranted, but it will not stop Acid from having another pop-off performances. The Skarner is going to be banned from the side of Meme City Esports. Just a strong juggle pick. Don't want to get forced to build the QSSs, so they'd end up throwing the ban out there. Talia ban. Surprised.
Talia, interesting. That
Probably
Talia
just
in the mid
another...
lane was very powerful, being able to one-shot half of your team. Sucks. That, unfortunate. Bad. Got the Maokai ban, as well as Skarner, 2 very powerful tank picks right now in both the top and jungle, respectively. That leaves the Ornn open, though. What do we feel about that?
I think Ornn is open. It could be picked up by Legendary Wolves. I would honestly rather have them pick up... I think you pick up something... Again, Samira is a pick. Senna could be a pick as well, and it's going to get locked in. Oh no, we gotta watch Epic Fail Guy on Senna. Resident Sleeper.
It could be support.
It could be support, but we know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be fasting Senna AD.
No. Have hope. Have hope, young one.
No. I wish, but you know, you can be the best AD carry in the world, but you're always still gonna be on Senna Seraphine duty. Oh, God. It hurts.
Senna, we have the Ashe, something we saw in the first set. Do we think we're gonna get set again?
Probably not gonna get set in the second set, but we might get... I would like to see Meme City Esports probably pick up their jungle pick in this first round, and it's gonna be the Hecarim for Acid. Again, you can only have 3 bans, and this guy has way more than 3 champs in his pool, so it is gonna be the Hecarim picked here right before the second phase. So there's not more bans from the side of Legendary Wolves. We have seen Meme City Esports play this Ashe before. Obviously, they went 2-0 because they have 2-0'd every single team. So not much of a stat I can give you, but there is my... That's quick stats right there. Quick stats. I don't want to see the VA go. Oh no, we're seeing the VA go. I don't think it was bad in game number 1. I think it played fine. But there were a lot of missteps. And we did see a lot of... I think we saw twice where he tried to gank the mid lane, got his flash force, he tried to get the mid lane again, and died to the Talia. So maybe the Talia ban stops the set from dying early on. We'll see.
Perhaps, but again, I stand by it. I don't think Viego jungle is the greatest. And you know, as a jungle main myself, just a little bit of shade. Riot, why did you give us 2 junglers that are better in the lanes?
If it's strong enough, you just throw it in the lane.
We do have that Senna and the Soraka confirming it is not a support, and it's also not fasting. So, Gunjin, technically we're both wrong. Actually, no, I'm right. You're wrong.
What? Wait, no, it's Senna Soraka bot lane, right?
That's not fasting Senna.
She's gonna be fasting.
No, you can't fast with Soraka, can you?
No, Senna's always fasting. You can... It sucks, but we're gonna see... That's how you know Legendary Wolves want this win so bad. They're playing Epic Fail Guy said, "Yeah, we'll play Senna Soraka bot lane, whatever." But Meme City Esports is not gonna let them get away with this. I actually really like this pick from the side of Meme City Esports. Ash Leona, when you pick two squishies like this, the big thing that stops them is hard engage. And Ash Leona is absolutely massive engage. I want this is actually a new facet of Meme City Esports. Usually Meme City Esports is the people or is the team that plays the Senna pick. They're usually the team that
Mhm.
kind of plays around their jungler, plays around their solo laners. But seeing that they're gonna pick the Ashe and Leona, it's probably gonna be this signals to me dive bot, dive bot, dive bot. Acid should probably have his first clear center around the bot side, and we're gonna see a lot of bot lane fiestas.
Exactly, and this bot lane, it follows the little triangle of bot lane to anybody who knows it. For a little quick reminder, if I remember it off the top of my head, we have poke, sustain, and all in. Poke poke beats all in because you can't all in if you're poked out.
Mhm.
All in beats sustain because it doesn't matter, and sustain beats poke because doesn't poke anything if you can live long enough. So, with this logic, you have Senna Soraka, who heal a lot, meaning that they are a sustain lane. And then you have Ash Leona, who is an all in lane because they just constantly want to fight because you're a Leona. So, what does that tell us?
Uh, that tells me which one of those lanes beats Acid's hacker room. That's what I want to know, because I sadly these perfect triangles. I wish that bot lane could exist in like a Camille ulti. You can never enter. You can only leave. It's like a fight to the death, like a Coliseum kind of situation. But sadly for us AD carries, that's not gonna happen. Junglers will always ruin our days, and Acid is the best jungler at doing that. We are going to see from the side of Legendary Wolves, we are going to see the Veigar and Ornn locked in. So they are building a full big boy 5-man ball comp. That is what Legendary Wolves is going for. Viego in the jungle, Veigar in the mid lane, and Ornn in the top. They have a lot of sustain. They have a lot of engage. They do a lot of things well. But Meme City Esports is always good at disrupting. And they're going to lock in the Cho'Gath. And this is going to be massive. Ooh.
Well, it is going to be massive, let me tell you. If this game goes on any longer than like 25 minutes, it is quite going to be very large. We do have Ornn, however, who, rather than large, instead enjoys being beefy.
I did want to
So,
mention that the Ornn is actually going to be it's not an Ornn, it's just being picked, but it's actually going to be a Poppy here. So,
that ruined my whole joke. Man, I thought I
no
was so
jokes.
smart.
No jokes, sadly.
Here in Excellency, this is the uncomedic zone.
I do think it's pretty good though, because if you think about it, the Ornn again helps out the engage, but we're not even going to talk about that because what the Poppy actually does is actually allows for the Poppy and Veigar can kind of act like this wall that stops Meme City Esports from getting a lot of their engage off. So obviously, Hecarim can dash in, but he gets interrupted by Poppy, I believe. Unless he's unstoppable. I actually don't know the interaction well off my head. But I do know the Leona AE engage does get stopped. So the Veigar and the Leona can act as kind of this wall to stop the engagement from the side of Meme City Esports and keep the Senna Soraka lane kind of pumping out damage and poke.
Exactly. So Hecarim's E is stopped by Poppy's no-no circle, but his ult is unstoppable, so that's not.
Okay.
So unless he engages with his ult, which he's Hecarim, so he most likely is, then interestingly enough, Poppy's W, I'm pretty sure it also blocks Zoe, like Zoe's R, right?
Yeah, I believe so, because it.
So like,
I actually don't know. I think it's a.
no, I'm pretty sure it's like, okay.
Is it
I think if she jumps into it, like if she jumps next to next to Poppy, and then Poppy uses her no-no circle, then she'll get stunned, and then she'll just instantly go back because she can't do anything when she's stunned.
Interactions are hard. It's just
They
we'll
are.
we'll see how it plays out. I do like the Poppy Veigar lanes, the solo lanes. I think they help again with the lanes. I want to see Peekaboo have a better game though. He did not play too well in game number 1. He felt like he was getting out jungled. That happens because it is acid. But I want to see Peekaboo, especially with the resources that are being put into him with this Viego jungle, kind of have a better game too, because again, he needs to be this damage. There's not that much damage coming out. Senna obviously outputs a decent amount of damage, so does the Veigar in terms of burst, but that sustained damage that's really going to be dealing with Rutledge and Acid in the front line is going to be that Viego. So if he doesn't have that good of a game too, I'm very much scared for Legendary Wolves' overall damage output.
Yeah, and I'm still gonna stand by what I said. I do not like Veigar. I think he's useless. I like.
Okay, this Veigar here has to stop. Come on, let him live. He's not bad.
Listen. Veigar Cage, good ability, good, A+. My camera is going to the void. There we go. But everything else in Veigar's kit is just, I'll do some damage. Maybe I'll die. I don't know. Like. You're against the Zoe. You're gonna get one shot anyways. Like I don't like Veigar. I do not like Veigar. I don't like him. What's the problem with Veigar? Why he doing that?
I think he does. I think he's really solid. I think he's really good, especially into matchups where he can not obviously get the counter pick, but he kind of dissuades a lot of engage. I think he's good. I'm not a Veigar lover, but I'm a Veigar moderate. I will say Veigar's okay. Kind of balance out what's happening here.
Alright, well, we have different takes on the Veigar, so we're just gonna have to see how it goes. In the first game we saw Veigar. Wasn't too hot, but maybe the Wolves will actually do decent.
So overall, team comp-wise, who do you favor here, Cowboy?
Who do I favor? I much prefer Meme City Esports' comp this game. I think Cho'Gath into Poppy, good matchup. It's still tank v tank, so don't get me wrong, it's still gonna be a pool party up there. But, you know, regardless, Hecarim, super OP right now. Do not like Viego jungle, so that's a just 2-0 side of MCE, right? Zoe Veigar, I don't like Veigar, we've talked about this. Zoe, I'm bronze, I don't like Zoe. So that's a 3-0 for MCE. And then the bot lane, I talked about the funny triangle of the bottom lane. So that's a 5-0. In theory, in my tiny brain, all lanes for Meme City Esports should win. That's what I think.
Okay. I'll be a little bit of a Legendary Wolves fan here. I think that the bot lane, I think if it can get if Legendary Wolves can take this bot lane and not have any action. So if they just go 0-0-0 for the first 15 minutes, they have very good scaling. I think Senna Soraka becomes such a problem to deal with the amount of healing they can output, especially to this front line of the Viego plus Poppy. I think Veigar's disengage plus cage is going to be really good in terms of dealing with a lot of this engage from the Leona, Hecarim, even if Cho'Gath tries to run in. I think a lot of this comp is going to be centered around Peekaboo though. He is their main, most consistent damage dealer. I think he's going to have to do a lot in the early game, especially so that Acid kind of doesn't run away with it, because that's my fear. That Meme City Esports see this bot lane of Senna Soraka, and they say, we are not going to let you get to 15 minutes. We are going to dive you, we are going to freeze you, we're going to call the Cho'Gath TP, and we're going to run Acid down your throat. And that is what Legendary Wolves cannot let happen. Peekaboo is going to be the prime target of stopping Meme City Esports from running over his bot lane, of getting leads, and trying to make sure that this Viego that they're picking early on, they're using their first picks to get this Viego for Legendary Wolves. So he needs to make this work.
Yeah, definitely. And you talked about diving bot. If they can make it past 30-40 minutes, then Legendary Wolves just wins the game. Like, just, it's a ticking time bomb. You have Veigar, you have Soraka, you have Senna. Like, what? You have Ornn. He can't die. So, it's very obvious to see that from Meme City Esports' team comp, they immediately knew, hey, it's Senna, they want to scale in that lane. So they picked the Hecarim, the king of tower diving. And then instantly, you just can't bot, you know?
Yeah. Again, scaling-wise, I think it's much closer. I think that the Cho'Gath could become a big problem if this game does just scale into late game. But I would agree. I think that the Senna Soraka can become a really big problem. So I would still give it to Meme City Esports in terms of scaling, just because I think Ash and Leona, and obviously Zoe, because of the amount of just damage she can output, is really strong, especially the Cho'Gath frontline. But for my hype, as we go into game number 2, Legendary Wolves had a great game 1. They were so close to winning it, except a close Baron throw where Angel came up huge. Can Legendary Wolves, the king of 1-1, splitting series, take down Meme City Esports and give them their first loss of the season? If they want to prove that they're a top 4 team, a top 3 team, break into that upper echelon, this is when you do it. Epic fail guy, if you want to try to contest to be the best ADC in the league, this is when you have to make the plays. Peekaboo's taking his broken Viego and running it. I want to see Legendary Wolves pop off, but I want to see Acid, if he's going to, again, if Acid wins this and has another dominant performance, I'm getting him on the interview and I'm going to give him the MVP award right now. Let's go. Let's get into game 2.
Let's do it. I think we're going to hop over to, like, I don't know if we're instantly going to go in game or like a 30-second break, but we got to go. We are way out of schedule. We will see you guys later. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Peace.
I'm positive 5. Mac is muted. Mac. I mean, I can solo cast. It's fine.
Lol. I forgot I was muted. I was talking. Sag. I am feeling absolutely fantastic, my man, dude. So only, dude, game 4. This is easy. Where's game 5 at? You know,
this is Mac has no energy.
I love the energy going into game 4. You're always just so tired. It sucks. Like, please. No.
I'm ready. I've been on color. I'm chilling. I'm doing great. I just won the retro.
Welcome back, everybody, to Summoner's Rift for our last game of the night. We apologize that you had to hear Mac talk about his him winning whatever is on your. I don't know, man. I'm old. I'm an esports gamer. Leave it. I don't know.
That was for the break. I'm ready for some League of Legends now, man. The draft was spicy. It had me hooked on it for a little bit. Meme City Esports Valley are going to continue to make things interesting with this early invade. Some wards getting traded. The Raptors now visible by the Wolves, but we do see Meme City able to drop down a little trinket there by the red buff as Skiz is going to be able to get some stacks. Don't worry about the Zenith plate. It's all about the Viger AP.
Yeah, definitely got some stacks, got some AP off of the Leona there, so that's a positive trade for the Vagar every single
Tier
time.
stacks!
Yeah, exactly. Stonks are up. But I will say, you know, before we get into this game, I have a complaint, Mac Dewey.
What is your complaint, Valley? I'm ready.
Cowboy said that this is the no humor zone. Are we not funny?
I think
Is that what
we're
they're trying to say?
hilarious.
I think we're funny. I don't know. Like, just because the analyst desk isn't funny doesn't mean the casters aren't funny. Don't loop us in with y'all. That's messed up, man. I don't appreciate that. But anyways, we are going to see topside starts for both junglers. Admittedly, Meme City Esports will know where this Viego is, and I'm assuming they know where the Hecarim is. So everybody's got information on everybody. Nobody's in the dark here. Well, except, you know, maybe me and Mac Dewey. Sometimes we get a little lost. But yeah, I actually want to talk about this top lane matchup, Max. Tell me a little bit of what you're seeing here and how this is going to go.
A lot of Grasp of the Undying stack trades, I'll tell you that much. I heard a lot of talk about Poppy's no-no zone from Cowboy to kind of start us off with getting the constant lane train that's going to be going on, and also just how nice it is to have a little bit of counter engage for the Wolves. It was Meme City Esports who last game, Valley, really took over the game when it came to those team fights just going dramatically in their favor. And I'm hoping Raichu can have better positioning this time around to really be a peel savior for some of the backline. That's what Legendary Wolves are going to need from their top laner to, I think, make a difference coming into game number 2.
I definitely agree. I think what Poppy is really, really good for if this game starts to go longer is that Leona's going to have a hard time getting in to these fights.
Right.
It's going to have a difficult time trying to find a target. But again, they have to get to that lane state. I know Gunjin talked about it on the desk during the draft, saying, hey, well, you have to get to that point in the game for that to really be a viable strategy. And it's definitely going to be a bit of a struggle. I mean, yeah, you have cleanse on your Senna, you have the silence, but you really have to survive this bottom lane if you're these two. I will say, Cowboy was right on one thing. It is not a fasting Senna, which I'm not as huge of a fan of. I would have preferred the fasting Senna here, but it is not a fasting Senna. It is a farming Senna. So that will be the case as a Peekaboo is...
Horse coming.
Yeah, Raichu comes in. Nice lane to the wall. First blood there. Raichu should fall in the meanwhile, but now Peekaboo is on the Cho'Gath. Big silence. Flash for Frosty on the W, but I'm not sure if they're going to actually be able to get away. Drops the Ignite. Frosty has their own flash as well. No ulti for Peekaboo, so can't get that reset, but Frosty will fall in the end. Skiz picks that one up, is going to have plenty of stacks, but now they're being run down. Peekaboo is going to become Zoe just to, you know, get a little bit of that extra health back, and it's a 2-for-1 trade in the positives for the side of Legendary Wolves.
Peekaboo's continuing to play tag here. Is Raichu actually able to teleport back into the top lane there? But Acid is calling it quits as Meme City is going to stop while they still can stop the blade in a little bit. 2 assists going over to the Vigo as Skiz is going to be very thankful for some of that gold going his way. The faster he's able to get online with this Viger pick, the better. It's been a mid lane matchup for mid league this week, Valley. Constant AP threats going into the middle of the rift, and because of that, we will see, I think, some more Verdant Barrier, but not before some more top lane fights.
Yeah, the no-no zone, as Cowboy likes to call it, goes up, but it's only going to last for a short period of time. But I don't know if they have the damage. They haven't landed the CC.
Here's
Raichu
Peekaboo.
walking around, waiting for Peekaboo. Going to get the slam into the wall, and now Peekaboo has the damage. Conqueror is proc, and he's going to be able to become this hacker. And can they chase down the Cho'Gath in time? Meanwhile, it's a 3v2 bot lane. Drowsy hits onto Fitz Chivalry, but he's going to be able to cleanse away. Swoon Baboon trying to walk it out. They aren't going to win that trade, and a flash in the top lane from Rutledge on the end of this play as well. Things, again, going the way of Legendary Wolves.
And we start to see just how nice the
Dive.
Curse of the Black Mist can be, but Rutledge is in trouble.
I don't like this dive. There's the baby cage into the stun. Well-layered CC is going to become the Cho'Gath just to get that extra health and invulnerability to juggle the tower aggro. That was really well executed. I will give them that.
Legendary Wolves through the top side of the map are starting to take over as Peekaboo is having a much better game on the Vigo this time around. Turns out when you ban away Acid's signature champions, the jungle matchup gets a little bit easier as the limited pool of champions won't stop Acid from picking up that first Drake of the game. Meme City Esports are a little down in this early game, but again, certainly not out undefeated for a reason. 19-0 so far through week number 5 as 1.5K gold lead isn't going to slow them down, but it is exactly how Legendary Wolves wanted to kick this one off as the Kings of the 1-1 are looking to keep hold of the crown.
Yeah, and honestly, this is a little bit of bias showing here, but I hope we get a 1-to-1 scoreline in this matchup. Now, yes, the Meme City Esports storyline, taking down the Kings, that's great. But I don't want my first time being back on the Excellency broadcast being a return to 2-0 Tuesdays, I know it's not Tuesday. I understand that. We've moved off of Tuesday, so we can't even have that. But still, you understand my pain. I don't want 2-2-0s. That's boring. Let's get some 1-to-1s. Let's get some intrigue going. Build those storylines that Jake Kelton is such a fan of.
Yeah, and I'm hoping this time around for the Legendary Wolves, they'll be a lot more careful about how they play with this lead and how they try to set up fights and objectives. Just looking at the bottom river, not a lot going to be going their way. Look at how many wards are just placed below the Dragon Pit Valley. Angel and Swoon Baboon are going to be just fine. Not even considering hawk shots flying all over the place. I really don't think we'll see a bot lane gank going over to the Senna Soraka lane just yet. But if they continue to try to lean into Peekaboo's Vigo as a huge carry for the side of Legendary Wolves, Raichu doing a very solid job in this early game. And even the Viger super carry could come through if things continue to go the way of the Wolves. But they got to lean towards that right now. Meme City, they know Vigo, is on the bottom side of the map. Vision very deep in the jungle. That control ward, don't let it fool you. Acid's here.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow into the Onslaught of Shadows will mean Fitz Chivalry is dead before the Wish can even have a chance to come out. And Peekaboo, the counter gank is just not enough. When the CC is layered, it's see you later for Fitz Chivalry.
He died so fast, the Dawning Shadow couldn't even come out from Epic Fail Guy. You blink and you might have missed that kill coming through for the side of Meme City Esports, as that's their motto. Frosty getting so many items! Prowler's Claw, then Turbo, Chem Tank, he's looking for a big trade.
Yeah, gets the big trade, gets the Ignite down, and that's just skill right there. All those items spawning at the perfect time and being able to use them, that's skill. Now, Acid is looking for this, going to force the flash from Skiz. Wish comes out as well, and Acid has found himself under the tower. Onslaught of Shadows comes out, and it will be a kill going over to Skiz instead. And yeah, they used 2 ults for it, but I think that's worth it every time. If you've got a Veigar in the mid lane now at 2-0-1, cleanse from Frosty, flash engage from Peekaboo, goes in with the Heartbreaker, does a ton of damage. Silence from Chivalry, and Frosty will fall as well. Chivalry picks that one up, which not ideal, but 2 kills for Legendary Wolves. They are now 6-2 with a 2K gold lead at 10 minutes, Mac Dewey.
Peekaboo, it's a little unfortunate, but I don't want to discredit how well he's been playing this early game. 1-0-4. Fitz in comms, he's just like, guys, I need my Moonstone Renewer as quickly as possible. Get me that kill online so I don't die anymore in the bot lane. Peekaboo's just trying his best to get ahead of Acid this Hecarim. The goal difference right now is actually only 500. We're going to get another pick.
Yeah, Enchanted Crystal Arrow found Fitz Chivalry again. And again, this support has no cleanse. So those Enchanted Crystal Arrows, as long as they keep hitting, they're going to keep finding kills onto this Soraka. So Fitz Chivalry has to find a little bit better positioning. And she'll be back up in time for this Drake. I think, we look at this Drake, if Senna backs, if Ashe backs, we might be looking at a first power spike being online for most of the carries when this Drake happens. So we might see our first true team fight, as both teleports are online for the top lane as well.
Cute Raichu and Rutledge are gonna continue their fun in the sun trading of Grasp of the Undying stacks, as it's all a competition on who can try to get more health from it. Raichu, though, doing a solid job on the surprise Poppy pick. Doing work against the Cho'Gath early on. Skiz and Peekaboo, we see Valley, are in the area for this objective. Acid on the top side of the map, in the bot lane having no cooldowns. I think this is going to be Legendary Wolves moving in for their first objective.
Yeah, Hecarim is walking over here. The Hawkshot will see them out, but the Baby Cage says, yeah, you don't get to walk in because, cages. Horses and cages, they don't get along. You find that out at some point. But Yeah, it is going to be a dragon picked up, which is the first dragon of the series for Legendary Wolves. It is going to be an Ocean Rift as well, which could be absolutely massive given you've got Senna, Soraka, and Viego, as well as Poppy on your team. Ocean Drakes, 3 of them potentially, and an Ocean Soul would just be absolutely insane for Legendary Wolves, Mac.
And it would help them, I think, manage not only the insane amount of dive that's going to be coming in from the bot lane in the Hecarim, but also Frosty's poke. We saw in the last series just how much well-timed poke can take over an objective. If you remember Valley Simulacrum on the Jace, just taking over against Anarchy Lime. I think Frosty wanting to find a similar kind of position in the game on this Zoe to just kind of demoralize the team and make sure fights are over before they even start by finding sleepy trouble bubbles when the Wolves really aren't expecting it. Did Asa just fail that?
Yeah.
Did I see?
The horse just went straight up. He just straight up into
Don't cut the tape on that one. That will get put in Acid's mid-league highlight reel. Shirley has been building the quite a portfolio through the first half of
I'm
half
making
of
the
the
highlight
season.
reel. It's going in there. I don't know what you want. No, yeah. I do want to, take a step back though. I think we have a little bit of a lull state right now, given that turret winning is going down. We've spent a lot of time on Legendary Wolves. They've gotten out to a good lead. We've talked about their lane states quite a lot. Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes in, so I won't get to finish my point. Flash from Fitz Chivalry, and you might have overextended just a little bit here, Endril, as the Dawning Shadow goes out, keeps everybody alive. Wish has also dropped as well. The Ignite ticking down won't be enough, so it was a good attempt, but the bot lane will walk away. And that brings me back to my point, because how does Meme City Esports get back into this game, right? What do they do? What lanes do they play through? What tools do they play through to get the gold lead back in their favor?
I think looking for this bot lane continuously has been their bread and butter, and so far it's working out pretty good. That's all 4 summoner spells burned out of the bot lane members of the Wolves. Rift Herald going to be used in the top lane to even out the turrets. Turret plating falling before both of those turrets fall actually kind of limits the impact of both of those objectives going over to either side, really. Legendary Wolves, again, have to play around, I think, everywhere outside of the bot lane, while Frosty just continue looking for that kind of damage onto Skiz. A cleanse used there while he was under turret. That's a really big cooldown, Valley. I think he used it because Peekaboo and Raichu were trying to look for the flank, but I think that's kind of a cooldown wasted from the Vigar. That's tough to see.
Yeah, you don't want to see that, but I mean, it's a Veigar. Like, even if he dies, whatever. At least it'll make Cowboy happy if he dies. But no, it's definitely not what you want to see, as there comes the Solar Flare, and now a Drowsy onto the Poppy. She's tanky, but she's not that tanky just yet. Is going to be able to walk away at this point, and Fitz Chivalry is going to be offering a ton of heal. Silence engage. There's the Heartbreaker, but Angel will not fall just yet. Flashes over the wall. Now Drowsy onto Peekaboo. Frosty dies instead, though, isn't able to get the damage off, and now Peekaboo doesn't want to become the Zoe, thinks his damage is better in this moment, as Swoon Baboon overextended and falls. It's a 2 for nothing, and the heals from Soraka Senna are just massive right now, Mac Dewey.
The baby cage is coming through, and Raichu with the stun set up to make everything work for the Wolves. And Valley, you're exactly right. Fitz Chivalry don't even need the Moonstone Renewer just yet. He'll take the care of the team all on his damn own. What a job there for the support. Didn't even have Wish available or the Dawning Shadow. Epic
They're
fail guy.
buffing that champion, by the way.
They are.
They're buffing her own healing, her movement speed, and her W's healing. So yeah. Thanks, Riot.
Thanks, Riot. Fitz gonna be happy looking at the patch notes for the future. I wonder if Raichu, though, we've been on him about the positioning. The Zenith Blade's gonna miss, but Andrew doesn't need it.
Yeah, Raichu's got the fancy feet, but so far isn't able to dodge enough skill shots to not get stunned up at least a couple times, but they aren't able to kill them because turns out that Leona and Cho'Gath don't do that much damage. But yeah, so it won't be able to kill them. Will knock down a little bit of health, but the Ocean Drake is spawning, and they do have a bush flank, so a Drowsy will land, but it's onto the support. There's too many bodies in the way, but now Unstoppable Onslaught goes through into the Solar Flare. Wish comes out early, and Peekaboo is low. Tries to go in onto Spoon Baboon, but falls in the meanwhile. 3 already down. Make it 4, make it 5, and Ocean Drake to boot, and Meme City Esports come crashing back into this game.
Just when you think the meme dream is dead, Valley, they come back swinging! How do these guys always find the right team fight to go their way? Well, when they're all on the same page and when the CC layering comes through, it was a beautiful job. Swoon Baboon and Andril starting that fight off, and Acid over the Dragon Wall, actually able to find everyone in the backline, and the wish from Fitz just wasn't enough. No Echo ult to rewind the play there, and the healing just simply not enough at this point. The damage that came through from the Ashe, from the Hecarim, from the entire Meme City lineup, Valley, well, that will lead to a really quick team fight when everyone outside of Raichu is so squishy. Maybe would have liked to see some sort of Locket of the Iron Solari come out, but it's a mythic item, so you really don't see it from a champion like Soraka. And right now, without the Moonstone Renewer, it's kind of tough to deal with the burst damage that's coming out of Meme City.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think it's also an issue of that was not solid positioning, right? Like
right.
That's ideal positioning for Meme City in that fight, because if you're able to get in towards the Drake, you're able to get a little bit more of a secure footing, spread yourselves out a little bit more, then you're not all getting stunned up by these multi-man ultimates. You're going to be able to sit in the backline freely and allow Fitz Chivalry to do their healing, to put down their silences, for Epic Fail Guy to just free hit in the backline while Peekaboo and Coot Raichu can do what they do best and tank and deal damage and steal bodies. That's what you need to see. So it was just poor positioning at the time to try and contest. I think if they come to that objective first, it's a different story.
Yeah, and I think Peekaboo is in a really interesting position on this Vigo because he's not quite yet, I feel like, at that 3-item power spike where I feel like Vigo really starts to pop off in games if we see that Sterax gauge come out, which I think in this game it would be absolutely perfect. He doesn't have a lot of sustainability right now, and it's kind of tough trying to take those 5v5 fights when Peekaboo's not really going to be able to handle Rutledge or Acid all that well, and even Andril, who actually does have the Locket of the Iron Solari, is CCing the entire team. Legendary Wolves need to go back to try to look for these picks. Raichu, no big ultimate, has got to find a way to disrupt what Meme City is trying to do. They have a lot of tools to zone and control these fights, and if arrows are coming and flying into the backline onto Fitz like that, well, these fights are just going to continue to go to Meme City's way as Acid looking to go into the jungle here. Peekaboo
gets caught out by the Zenith Blade. Solar Flare layered on top. Wish comes out. He's still alive, but Unstoppable Onslaught will be enough to take him down. Epic Fail Guy forced to cleanse. Zenith Blade under the towers, but the healing from Fitz is there. Baby Cage goes up. Entro will fall, and the Horizon, the Primordial Burst, will make sure it's secured. A double kill in there for Skiz, who's now sitting at 5-1 and 2. Flash away from Fitz Chivalry, and I hate Zoe.
Very sick, huh? That was a pretty cool gamer move right there.
That is disgusting. I'm sorry. I don't like that ever exists in any video game.
To be fair, there is a lot of magic pen onto Frosty. Not only does he have Luden's Tempest, but he also has the Sork Shoes online, and it's only Swifties completed by Fitz Chivalry, and the Moonstone Renewer isn't really going to help out too much with the when the Zoe slap is coming in over the wall. I know, though.
That would have done over half the health of the Poppy, and we both know it. Come on. That's just not... That's ridiculous. That character... I've never liked that character. I don't care about Veigar. Zoe is the most annoying character in the game for me, but it is picks traded back and forth. Meme City Esports have evened up the gold and are up in a tower and a Drake. So fights are going to get interesting at this next objective in 45 seconds, Matt Dewey.
Right, and hopefully Epic Fail Guy by that point will be on that 2-item Senna power spike. He's so close to the completed Rage Blade, and that's, I think, why we sometimes see the Senna opt out of fasting to try to get to the Kraken Slayer Rage Blade spike earlier. You kind of take the L on that soul stacking, but the double autos and the Kraken Slayer procs coming through. Whoa, so good. Meme City Esports, though, they have the vision in the bottom side of the map, but they've cleared out all of Legendary Wolves by Baron. They're going to try to sneak this one.
Yeah, but I think Legendary Wolves caught on because of the hawk shot that came through. They said they're by the Baron. We know that they're coming in, and now it's a 4-on-5. There's the engage from the Viego. It's going to stun up. Dawning Shadow goes in. Onslaught of Shadows is enough, though, to keep Acid alive for the moment, and Swoon Baboon is going to find the kill onto Peekaboo. Skiz falls down on the outside, and now it's a 2-on-5. No one has fallen from Meme City Esports. It's a double kill for Swoon Baboon. Make it a triple. A Baron on top. They'll get the Drake as well. Everything is coming up, Mimi.
Dream still alive. Meme City Esports going to be looking to move to 20-0 throughout the first 5 weeks of Mid-League Season 2. They just they can't just keep getting away with this one. It's like, is this like TSM? What do you think? Maybe the early game's not really here for this game. Meme City had it last game, and nonetheless, Legendary Wolves, I feel like it's come down to their fight execution. We saw Peekaboo flash in there, and the fight for a moment looked so good, and then Acid was like, how about I land a 3-man ulti into the backline, and from there, Legendary Wolves got taken out. It's going to be the second Ocean Drake of the game going over to Meme City Esports, as in 5 minutes, Valley, they're looking to pick up an Ocean Soul.
They definitely are. I don't expect this Baron buff to get anything more than a couple of outer towers if used effectively, but I do want to talk about one. I don't think it's TSM. I think it's more than Legendary Wolves or CLG. The early game is good, and then they just throw everything away because they don't know how to play out the mid game or the late game. And again, that fight comes down to positioning, Mac Dewey. It's you know they're at the Baron. You come up to the Baron, and you have Senna, you have Soraka, you have Poppy. Walk your way in. You're in a 4v5. You separated out a member on the side. Walk your way into the fight with the center range, with the Soraka heals, with the baby cage. Zone them off. Try to get yourself to the pit and say either you can test it or we're going to poke you out. Otherwise, if you engage onto them, they're going to be able to just CC you with multiple ults and delete you, and it's never going to work out for you if you're the side of Legendary Wolves.
And Rutledge at this point, so tanky, not going to be taken down by the limited burst that Legendary Wolves have. It's kind of an interesting position for Epic Fail Guy to be in. He's got to be worried about healing everyone, avoiding the poke, and then, oh yes, it's also kind of up to you to try to deal with this huge void monster that's running around trying to eat our team. So Meme City Esports, I think, with this Baron buff are going to be fairly comfortable as, wow! Valley, how about that Zoe damage?
Yeah, that wasn't even anything like she wasn't asleep or anything. Yeah, nope, that's just Zoe. This is also a little bit of why I would have preferred the fasting Senna, because I think if you have Soraka farming this game, you're going to hit your Moonstaff build faster. You're going to hit that Chemtech Putrefier quicker, which is going to give you the grievous wounds necessary to deal with some of these things, some of this healing. Maybe you sacrifice hitting that 2-item power spike a little bit for Epic Fail Guy, but it's really not that big of a deal, and Senna scales really well nonetheless. So I overall think that would have been a better option, as they are trying to defend this tower. I don't know if they'll be able to do it as a flash away from Frosty, but he is playing Zoe, so flash doesn't really matter.
It was a solid effort, though, I think, from Skiz to try to catch him out. And even as you were talking about earlier, Raichu taken down quite low by Frosty, who has been sniping continuously. A lot of low health bars, but Legendary Wolves have gotta look for some sort of defense at some point. Acid just riding in.
Yeah, Skiz has to pop the stopwatch. Unstoppable Onslaught will find the kill as he comes out of it, though, and Acid is still alive. Drowsy lands onto Raichu. It will not be the target. Fish Chivalry drops to 1 HP, and now Endro is coming in. This is going to be the end of the game if they get these kills. Dawning Shadow isn't enough, but huge Poppy ult knocks everybody out of the fight. Acid is going to fall, but it's still a positive trade for Meme City Esports. They will knock down a second inhibitor. They have waves crashing into the third. They can look for an end here if they so desire. It's just the bot lane alive. They don't really have the damage or the sustain, especially not into this Cho'Gath in this Leona. Root comes in. Endril is not even going to look for the engage. Zenith Blade will miss, but Frosty's just zoning them out. There are no options for Legendary Wolves. It is Meme City Esports going Legendary. It is Meme City Esports going 20-0. It is the return of 2-0 Tuesdays on Wednesdays. This fight is irrelevant unless Rutledge falls, but Swoon Baboon ends the game. The crying emoji comes out, and Epic Fail Guy can do nothing but watch as his team fails to take down the top dogs.
Time we're 100% sure it goes over, and Meme City managed to finish the job there. We get to witness the Nexus exploding as Meme City, in games that 10 minutes, 15 minutes into them, Valley, we were kind of thinking, we've got kind of a case on our hands. Maybe Meme City's in trouble. Ooh, Legendary Wolves have got some ganks working, have got some team fights going their way. And then Meme City's like, wait, hold up, guys. The 20-minute mark has arrived. We are indeed going to start trying and look for these fights. And once again, their flawless execution really lends themselves to a quick win once again. The 5-0 aces, it's kind of surprising to see how many times we've seen them come through for Meme City in this series. It was a noble effort, though, from the Legendary Wolves, as you can't take them off your radar just yet.
I definitely cannot. But to break down this game in more depth, we are throwing it back over to the analyst desk with Gungeon and Cowboy Cast.